Alert! What fans are waking up to today feels less like reality television and more like a full-scale media meltdown. Timelines exploded overnight with shocking headlines, vague live-stream clips, and frantic blog coverage, all pointing to the same incendiary allegation. Reports suggest that an intensely private matter involving Tamar Braxton has been dragged into the public spotlight. Just as news of Mendeecees' arrest surfaced and right before Yandy Smith was reportedly pulled into a heated confrontation, fans across social platforms began asking the same question amid the overwhelming noise. How did everything unravel this fast? None of this has been confirmed as fact. Online backlash and circulating narratives suggest the chaos started not with official reports or legal documents, but with whispers, screenshots, cryptic captions, and a single line taken out of context and transformed into an unavoidable headline. As content creators rushed to connect dots that may or may not belong together, outrage spread, emotions flared, and speculation stacked on top of speculation. Then came the alleged confrontation. According to online commentators, tensions reportedly boiled over behind the scenes, and Yandy's name surged through timelines after posts implied a volatile exchange with Tamar. Reaction channels began reenacting the supposed incident with raised voices, pointed accusations, and allegedly offensive language, despite the absence of any footage confirming what actually took place. One fan wrote, "This crossed a line." Another added, "Some things should never be used as weapons." Reports of Mendeecees' arrest emerged just as the narrative reached its heaviest point. The timing alone sent the internet into a frenzy. Fans immediately questioned whether the events were connected or if the overlap was purely coincidental. Was this a chain reaction, a messy collision of unrelated crises, or something deeper that hasn't yet surfaced? Despite efforts by blogs, podcasts, and fan pages to frame the situation, the story continues to outpace the facts. In a digital world where rumors travel faster than truth, the damage is often done long before clarity arrives. Who is really caught in the fallout, and how did it escalate to this point? Stay tuned, because each new update only seems to fuel the fire, as scattered online chatter slowly hardens into a full-blown narrative. The momentum builds in a familiar way. Late-night posts begin circulating about a deeply personal rumor tied to Tamar Braxton, warning of disturbing claims without offering evidence or verification. Fans are stunned as comment sections echo the same accusation, each repetition layered with more emotion and speculation. The rumor is described as intensely private, something many viewers feel should never be exploited, even hypothetically. Online discussions grow more volatile whenever Yandy Smith's name enters the conversation. Analysts suggest tensions within the reality TV circle were already simmering, and this rumor allegedly pushed things past the breaking point. Viewers are told that a disagreement may have escalated into a heated argument. Reaction videos confidently portray sharp exchanges, raised voices, and a moment where emotions ran high enough to cause lasting damage. Yet no one claims to possess verifiable footage. Fans remain divided as they consume these breakdowns. Some rush to defend Tamar, insisting she should never be tied to such a serious allegation after enduring years of public scrutiny. Others argue that Yandy has been unfairly targeted by a gossip-driven culture that thrives on twisting circumstances for clicks. In the court of public opinion, lines are drawn, and every comment section becomes an emotional battleground rather than a search for facts. As coverage continues, alleged insiders begin making vague assertions. They claim Tamar was shocked and hurt not only by the rumor itself, but by its repetition in any space. According to these accounts, she questioned who she could trust in an environment where personal boundaries seemed to vanish overnight, leaving her feeling betrayed and overwhelmed. Meanwhile, other critics speculate that Yandy may have reacted defensively in a moment fueled by anger and frustration. Fueled by the ongoing controversy and circulating accusations, the situation escalated rapidly, even though none of the claims have been verified. These narratives gain momentum largely because of their emotional believability. The flames are further stoked by the resurfacing of old clips from past reality TV moments. Fans began dissecting earlier conflicts, vocal inflections, and facial cues, convincing themselves that warning signs had always existed. As viewers connected footage from years ago to present-day rumors, emotions surged across social platforms. Some argue that unresolved tension has a way of resurfacing, especially when cameras and public scrutiny are involved. Others push back, insisting that revisiting old moments only distorts the present. As online debate intensifies, concern grows over the impact of repeatedly amplifying such claims. Many followers speak out, arguing that even discussing health-related rumors crosses an ethical line. They maintain that disclaimers do little to reduce harm once speculation takes hold. Social media is flooded with messages of support and empathy from Tamar's supporters, urging people to stop circulating damaging information. Critics counter that commentary platforms are simply repeating what's already circulating, placing responsibility on viewers for how they consume it. Then reports surface that Mendeecees has been detained, shifting the narrative yet again. As before, official statements are scarce, and confirmed details remain limited. Still, the timing alone leaves the fan community stunned. Speculation immediately erupts, with people questioning whether the arrest and the alleged confrontation are linked or merely coincidental. Reaction creators emphasize the synchronicity, framing it as too dramatic to ignore. Fans respond with a mix of fascination and unease. Some express concern over the emotional toll on everyone involved, particularly family members who never chose public exposure. Others admit they can't look away, describing the unfolding story as chaotic and deeply unsettling. Debates rage over whether these events should be connected at all, though measured voices are often drowned out by louder conjecture. Some viewers urge restraint, reminding others that correlation does not equal confirmation. As hours pass, the silence from those directly involved becomes a story in itself. Commentators note the absence of a clear denial or explanation, which only deepens the mystery. For some, the silence suggests shock. For others, it appears deliberate. In the absence of clarity, narratives are allowed to grow unchecked. At this point, each retelling adds another layer of drama, making the situation feel less like isolated rumors and more like a swirling storm of overlapping crises. Fans show signs of fatigue yet remain glued to their screens, waiting for clarity that never arrives. The reported dispute, the personal rumor, and the arrest news merge into a dominant storyline that takes over feeds. Many begin questioning how online commentary culture reached a place where speculation can so completely eclipse fact. Throughout the discourse, one theme continues to surface: the cost of turning personal pain into public spectacle. Regardless of the truth behind the claims, viewers sense genuine emotion. Families appear divided, friendships are questioned, and trust feels fragile. Commentators increasingly describe the situation as disturbing rather than entertaining. As the story evolves, audiences are left to reflect on their own role in spreading unverified narratives, not because there's nothing to say, but because there's too much noise and too little truth. The matter remains unresolved. What lingers is the discomforting reality that once a rumor reaches this level, it becomes nearly impossible to contain. Everyone involved is left grappling with the fallout of words that may never have been meant to go this far. Meanwhile, as online chatter intensifies, fans and commentators dissect every reported detail, shifting from shock to analysis. Despite the lack of concrete footage, reaction videos slow events down frame by frame, interpreting tone, body language, and emotional cues attributed to anonymous sources. Creators narrate what they believe unfolded during the alleged exchange. Even while acknowledging these accounts are unverified, viewers are struck by how real they feel. The rumor begins to symbolize something larger. According to critics, it reflects how reality TV drama has drifted away from entertainment and into deeply personal territory. Boundaries become a central topic, with many questioning why health-related accusations are introduced at all. Emotions run high as some fans accuse commentary channels of exploiting personal suffering, while others argue that ignoring reports doesn't make them disappear. Disagreements over how situations like this should be handled divide audiences, not out of loyalty to individuals but over principles. Alleged responses from those close to Tamar start circulating, describing private conversations where concern quickly turned into anger. According to these accounts, friends were outraged, while others worried about her emotional well-being as much as her public image. The stories suggest Tamar felt isolated, watching strangers debate her life as if it were fiction. Once again, none of this is confirmed, yet it resonates because it mirrors past instances where public figures faced similar scrutiny. Online commentators also present Yandy's perspective, portraying it as equally layered and complex. According to several critics, she felt repeatedly targeted by ongoing narratives that portrayed her as confrontational. They suggest she may have believed the situation was being exaggerated or even manufactured to damage her image. From this perspective, frustration quietly built over time before finally spilling over during a charged moment that was never meant for public view. Fans who engage with this interpretation find themselves conflicted, torn between recognizing that reality TV environments often intensify pressure and assigning responsibility. As speculation continues, more voices enter the conversation. Bloggers, former cast members, and casual viewers all weigh in, each adding another layer of interpretation. Alliances are reevaluated, old friendships are scrutinized, and past disputes are reinterpreted as early warning signs. Fans rewatch episodes from years ago, convinced they're noticing clues they once overlooked, sending emotions soaring. Others push back, arguing that this kind of hindsight distorts reality by turning ordinary disagreements into evidence of imagined conspiracies. All of this unfolds against the backdrop of the reported arrest of Mendeecees. Commentators repeatedly return to it, not because the facts are clear, but because it raises the emotional stakes. Viewers speculate about mounting stress, pressure, and the collision of multiple crises at once. Some argue the timing alone feels overwhelming, while others caution that linking unrelated events is irresponsible. Still, audiences remain drawn to narratives that appear interconnected, even when proof is thin. As a result, the overlap continues to fuel non-stop debate. Fans also begin questioning the role of social media itself. Many point out that when a rumor is repeated often enough, it can quickly transform into a headline. Posts are reshared, reframed, edited, and rewarded until the original source becomes nearly impossible to trace. Viewers admit their emotions were heightened as they realized they were surrounded by the story, even without knowing who initiated it. This realization sparks conversations about accountability, not only for public figures, but for audiences who engage without reflection. Amid the chaos, calls for empathy grow louder. Supporters remind others that online discourse does not exist in isolation. Some urge the public to pause, arguing that regardless of accuracy, real people are affected. Fans of both Tamar and Yandy appeal for compassion, noting that it's possible for multiple individuals to be hurt by the same situation. The fanbase becomes divided not by hostility, but by exhaustion from relentless speculation. Still, the drama machine keeps turning. Every hour brings new reaction videos promising fresh insight, only to emotionally recycle the same details. Even while criticizing the cycle, many viewers admit how compelling it feels. Some confess they keep watching in hopes of clarity, a moment when someone involved speaks plainly and ends the confusion. For now, the story remains shaped by silence. Commentators debate what that quiet signifies, assigning meaning to every moment without a statement. Some believe staying silent is a form of self-protection. Others interpret it as evidence that serious developments are unfolding behind the scenes. As fans project their own expectations onto the situation, emotions continue to run high. Days pass and fatigue sets in. Viewers complain about being misled by headlines built on speculation rather than facts, yet many also acknowledge their role in keeping the narrative alive. Conversations turn inward, questioning why audiences are drawn to drama rooted in uncertainty. The alleged rumor, the reported altercation, and the arrest begin to feel less like separate events and more like symbols of a culture that thrives on chaos. By this point, the story has taken on a life of its own. It belongs more to the internet than to those directly involved. Fans refresh their feeds while debating morality, media ethics, and emotional boundaries. The unresolved nature of the situation keeps everyone on edge, creating a strange mix of curiosity and anxiety. The emotional weight of the coverage remains evident, especially without confirmation. Viewers are left wondering where entertainment ends and harm begins, particularly as friendships are questioned and trust erodes. Many quietly hope for honesty or closure, believing it could finally calm the storm and remind everyone that real people exist behind every headline, carrying the impact of words that travel faster than truth. As the discussion continues, the tone online shifts from explosive to uneasy. Fans who were once captivated by the spectacle now appear concerned, even conflicted by how far things have gone. Commentary platforms increasingly frame the situation as a cautionary tale about rumor culture rather than entertainment. Even as they emphasize that these are online claims, not verified facts, outsiders perceive the emotional damage as real. The speed at which the rumor detached from its original source becomes a recurring topic. People admit the story is everywhere, yet few know where it began. Videos reference other videos, posts quote posts, and speculation feeds itself. As fans realize they're reacting to repetition rather than confirmation, emotions rise again. Some even apologize for sharing clips or comments without questioning them first. Meanwhile, unconfirmed reactions from those close to the situation continue to circulate. According to critics, family members on all sides feel distressed and frustrated, believing they were pulled into a situation they never chose. They describe intense private conversations among loved ones as they debate whether to speak out or remain silent. The family becomes divided not by personal conflict, but by disagreement over how to handle public scrutiny. Meanwhile, concern for Tamar's emotional well-being continues to grow as her name remains at the center of the controversy. Many argue that even repeating these rumors can be harmful, pointing to her past openness about mental health as a reason to lead with empathy. Comment sections overflow with messages urging people to stop speculating and allow those involved the space to breathe. On the other side, Yandy's supporters push back against what they see as a one-sided portrayal. They argue that being linked to an unproven allegation can be just as damaging to someone's reputation. Some fans feel she is being unfairly framed as aggressive or malicious based solely on hearsay. They remind audiences that reaction channels often heighten drama to maintain engagement. This back and forth only deepens the divide among viewers. Looming over every discussion is the reported arrest of Mendeecees. Even when commentators try to focus strictly on the rumor, the arrest remains a constant backdrop. Fans speculate about stress, mounting pressure, and how overlapping crises might intensify emotions. Others insist that tying unrelated events together is misleading and unfair. Emotions flare as debates erupt over whether the arrest should be mentioned at all. As time passes, the lack of concrete updates begins to take on meaning of its own. Commentators start treating silence as a statement. Some suggest it reflects personal boundaries or legal advice, while others argue that staying quiet allows rumors to spread unchecked. The absence of clarity leaves space for imagination, which quickly fills the void. Viewers find themselves scrutinizing what isn't said just as closely as what is. Attention also turns inward, with fans questioning their own roles. Many admit that, even unintentionally, they feel complicit. They wonder why measured voices struggle to gain traction, while sensational headlines dominate feeds. Emotions run high as people reflect on their own clicking, sharing, and impulsive reactions. While some vow to step back, others concede they continue to check for updates. Media ethics become a recurring theme. Commentators debate whether it's possible to discuss rumors responsibly or whether repetition alone causes harm. Some argue that disclaimers aren't enough when the subject matter is so sensitive. Others claim commentary simply mirrors audience demand. These disagreements spill over into family discussions as well, with no clear agreement on where accountability lies. Instead of offering quick takes, newer creators enter the conversation with more thoughtful analysis. They explore how reality television blurs the line between private life and public spectacle, arguing that years of watching personal struggles for entertainment have normalized boundary crossing. As viewers recognize familiar patterns in this story, and across the genre, emotions intensify. The alleged rumor becomes a symbol of a much larger issue. The strain grows heavier, yet the narrative refuses to fade. Countdown timers appear. Thumbnails tease revelations that never arrive. Updates are promised then recycled. Fans are stunned by how the cycle survives on anticipation alone. Each new video seems poised to deliver clarity, but most simply reinforce existing assumptions. Curiosity rises alongside frustration. Beneath the noise, a quieter sentiment begins to emerge. Many viewers hope the individuals involved are shielded from the spotlight and surrounded by genuine support. They recognize that no amount of online commentary can replace private, real-world conversations. Emotions swell as fans remind one another that they only know the versions of these people presented on screens and social media. The tone shifts again, this time toward exhaustion. As the story drags on without resolution, viewers express fatigue with drama rooted in ambiguity. Still, many admit that disengaging is harder than expected. The narrative has woven itself into daily routines, checked almost automatically. What remains is a sense of imbalance. The reported altercation remains unverified. The arrest lingers in the background. The rumor continues to circulate without confirmation. Together, they form a persistent cloud of tension. Beyond wondering what actually happened, viewers begin questioning why they feel so emotionally invested in the first place. Ultimately, the ongoing debate underscores how harsh reality can feel in an age of non-stop commentary. The emotional fallout persists, even as everyone acknowledges these are only reports. Boundaries blur, trust erodes, and the internet moves forward, often leaving damage behind. Many fans quietly wonder whether any eventual conclusion will be enough to soften the impact of everything already said. As the discussion continues, the energy surrounding the topic grows heavier and more reflective. Fans who once reacted instantly to every comment now slow down, sensing that something about this situation feels different. Observers note that the excitement has been replaced by unease. Although the alleged rumor remains unconfirmed, its presence is felt everywhere. People are beginning to realize that once speculation reaches this level, even without proof, it can leave lasting damage. Discussion forums are now filled with long, reflective posts instead of quick reactions. Viewers share personal thoughts on why this particular claim struck such a nerve. It touches on vulnerability rather than competition. Many fans express discomfort with speculation being treated as entertainment, and emotions continue to run high. They argue that certain topics demand sensitivity, no matter how public the figure involved may be. Even as the story continues to circulate widely, the shift in tone changes how it's received. Commentators still reference unnamed individuals said to be close to the situation, describing exhaustion, non-stop notifications, and private moments constantly interrupted by public noise. Families reportedly remain divided on how to respond. Some favor addressing the rumors head-on, while others believe silence is the safest option. Fans recognize that in such a volatile environment, even the smallest comment can be twisted or misrepresented. Supporters of Tamar grow increasingly vocal in calling for boundaries. They emphasize that repeating an unverified claim only keeps it alive. Many worry that the relentless conversation could cause long-term emotional harm, recalling past moments when intense public scrutiny clearly took a toll. Emotions flare as people plead for the story to stop being recycled. At the same time, discussions surrounding Yandy become more layered. Some viewers admit their initial judgments were shaped by exaggerated retellings. With distance, they question whether those conclusions were fair. Fans point out how easily repetition can replace evidence, turning someone into a villain without proof. Conversations emerge about how reality TV editing and online discourse blur the line between persona and real person, making it difficult to see the individual behind the controversy. Meanwhile, the reported arrest of Mendeecees lingers in the background, taking on a more symbolic role than a factual one. Commentators suggest it represents the compounding pressures facing everyone involved. Others caution against linking unrelated events. Emotions remain heightened as viewers debate whether mentioning the arrest adds necessary context or merely fuels speculation. With no clear answers, these disagreements persist. More followers begin stepping away from reaction content altogether. They say they're exhausted by hearing the same narrative repeated with different emotional packaging. Even some creators admit they're running out of new perspectives. Still, because silence rarely thrives online, the cycle continues. Fans are struck by how digital platforms reward repetition over restraint. It becomes clear that the story has grown far beyond its original spark. What began as rumors and a reported confrontation has evolved into a broader conversation about media culture itself. Viewers discuss empathy, responsibility, and the cost of turning conjecture into spectacle. Emotions rise as they recognize familiar patterns where engagement outweighs truth. The ongoing silence from those directly involved remains a focal point. Despite the risks, commentators continue to speculate about what that silence means. Some see it as self-preservation, while others believe it leaves too much room for imagination. Fans remain divided on whether an official statement would bring closure, or if the narrative will simply fade as attention shifts elsewhere. Once again, the line between private lives and public consumption is examined. Viewers reflect on how reality TV fame creates expectations of access, fostering a sense of entitlement to explanations. Even as they engage, many admit they struggle with that entitlement, questioning their own curiosity and why it's so hard to let go. Emotions remain high. Gradually, the conversation begins to fade. Updates become less frequent and feel repetitive rather than revealing. Some fans interpret this as the story losing momentum. Still, others fear that even a quiet ending won't undo the harm already done. The divide persists, not just among those in the story but among viewers themselves. Reaction gives way to reflection. Instead of picking sides, people begin discussing lessons learned, how quickly narratives form and how difficult they are to reverse. Fans acknowledge that even if claims are later disproven, the impressions may linger. Reputations don't always fully recover once public attention moves on. What remains is discomfort. The alleged confrontation was never clearly explained. The rumor was never verified. Details surrounding the arrest remain limited. Yet the impact feels real. The situation has sparked debate, strained perceptions, and exposed how fragile the boundary is between commentary and harm. As the noise slowly subsides, reactions are mixed. Some feel relieved by the lack of constant updates. Others are unsettled, wishing the situation had been handled differently from the start. The lasting reminder is how quickly words spread online, and how difficult they are to take back once released. Eventually, the story drifts into the background of internet memory, another example of how rumors can dominate attention without resolution. Viewers move on, but the questions remain. How much responsibility do creators bear when discussing unverified claims? How accountable are viewers who consume and amplify them? And when does entertainment cross into something far more damaging? These questions linger without clear answers. Fans are left not only astonished by the claims themselves, but by the speed at which rumors can spread and affect real lives. The entire episode has been driven by intense emotion, yet closure remains elusive. Your perspective matters here. You've seen the reactions, the criticism, and the conflicting viewpoints. Do you think discussing unconfirmed claims goes too far? Or is it simply part of modern media culture? Is silence sometimes the healthiest response, or should public figures address every rumor? Both audiences and families are left divided. If you found this breakdown insightful, support the channel by liking the video so others interested in how these stories unfold can see it too. For more analysis that looks beyond headlines and explores the bigger picture, subscribe. And most importantly, share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us what stood out to you, how you feel about the situation, and what you think should happen next. Your voice adds to the conversation.